What if I told you that real estate could be the key to retiring earlier than you ever thought possible? It might sound like a dream, but for many people, it's a reality. Real estate investing isn't just for the wealthy or the financially savvy. It's a strategy that anyone can use to build wealth, create passive income, and step into retirement with confidence. Hi there. If you're tuning in today, chances are you've either thought about retiring early or are curious about how real estate fits into the picture. Maybe you've heard stories of people who retired in their 50s or even their 40s thanks to rental properties or smart property investments. Or maybe you're wondering if real estate is a viable path for you. Well, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into how real estate can help you retire early and, more importantly, how you can get started, no matter where you are in your financial journey. But before we jump in, let's clarify something. Retiring early doesn't mean living lavishly or taking huge risks. Instead, it's about creating a sustainable lifestyle where your money works for you, not the other way around. And real estate has a unique ability to do just that. Whether it's generating steady cash flow through rentals, building equity over time, or leveraging tax benefits, real estate offers tools that traditional retirement accounts often can't match. In this video, we'll explore 5 ways real estate can accelerate your path to early retirement. We'll also cover practical tips to help you avoid common pitfalls and make smart decisions along the way. Let's start with the first point, cash flow. Now, here's the thing about cash flow: it's the lifeblood of any successful real estate investment. Simply put, cash flow is the money left over after you subtract all your expenses like mortgage payments, taxes, maintenance, and insurance from the rent you collect. Positive cash flow means your property is putting money directly into your pocket each month, which can serve as a reliable source of income during retirement. Imagine owning a rental property that generates $500, $1,000, or even $2,000 per month in positive cash flow. Over time, those dollars add up, reducing your reliance on savings or Social Security. Plus, rental income tends to increase as rents rise with inflation, giving you a built-in hedge against rising costs later in life. The key to achieving strong cash flow is finding the right property at the right price. Look for areas with high demand for rentals, such as college towns, neighborhoods near hospitals or military bases, or regions experiencing population growth. Avoid overpaying for properties or underestimating expenses, as these mistakes can eat into your profits. Now, let's move on to our second point, building equity. Equity is one of the most powerful aspects of real estate investing. Every time you pay down your mortgage, you're increasing the portion of the property that you own outright. Additionally, as property values appreciate over time, your equity grows even faster. This combination creates a snowball effect, allowing you to build wealth passively. For example, let's say you buy a home for $200,000 with a 20% down payment, $40,000. After 5 years of paying your mortgage and benefiting from a modest 3% annual appreciation in value, your property could be worth $231,000, even though you've only paid a fraction of the loan balance. That extra $31,000 in equity is yours to keep, whether you sell the property, refinance it, or use it as collateral for future investments. Building equity also gives you options. For instance, you could sell a property and reinvest the proceeds into multiple smaller properties, spreading your risk and increasing your cash flow. Alternatively, you could access your equity through a home equity line of credit HELOC or cash-out refinance to fund other investments or cover unexpected expenses. The flexibility that equity provides is a cornerstone of financial freedom. Now, let's talk about our third point, tax advantages. One of the biggest perks of real estate investing is the tax benefits it offers. Unlike earned income from a job, rental income comes with deductions that can significantly reduce your taxable burden. For example, you can deduct mortgage interest, property taxes, repairs, maintenance costs, and even depreciation, a paper loss that lowers your taxable income without requiring actual cash outlay. Additionally, real estate investors often benefit from strategies like the 1031 exchange, which allows you to defer capital gains taxes when selling an investment property by reinvesting the proceeds into another property. This tool enables you to grow your portfolio without losing a chunk of your profits to taxes. These tax advantages not only boost your bottom line, but also free up more resources to invest in additional properties or pad your retirement savings. Over time, they can make a substantial difference in how quickly you achieve financial independence. Now that we've covered cash flow, equity, and tax advantages, let's transition to our next point: diversification. Real estate offers a unique opportunity to diversify your retirement portfolio, reducing risk and increasing stability. Stick around, we're just getting started. All right, let's pick up where we left off. So far, we've covered 3 key ways real estate can help you retire early: generating cash flow, building equity, and taking advantage of tax benefits. Now, let's dive into another critical piece of the puzzle: diversification, and how it strengthens your financial foundation for early retirement. You've probably heard the saying, "Don't put all your eggs in one basket." It's a timeless principle that applies to investing just as much as anything else. Relying solely on stocks, bonds, or traditional retirement accounts can leave you vulnerable to market fluctuations. Real estate, however, offers a tangible asset that behaves differently from paper investments, providing stability and balance to your portfolio. For example, when the stock market takes a dip, real estate values don't necessarily follow suit, at least not immediately. Property values tend to be more stable over time, especially in growing markets. And even if property values plateau temporarily, your rental income continues to flow, ensuring you still have money coming in regardless of short-term economic trends. This dual benefit, appreciation potential, and ongoing cash flow, makes real estate an excellent way to diversify your retirement strategy. Diversification within real estate itself is also important. Instead of focusing on just one type of property like single-family homes, consider branching out into different niches, such as multi-family units, vacation rentals, or commercial properties. Each has its own risk-reward profile, so spreading your investments across multiple types can further protect you against unexpected downturns. Now, let's move on to our next point: leveraging real estate to amplify your returns. Leverage is one of the most powerful tools in real estate investing, and it's something you rarely find in other forms of investment. Essentially, leverage means using borrowed capital like a mortgage to purchase a property, allowing you to control a much larger asset than you could afford outright. When used wisely, leverage magnifies your gains without requiring you to tie up all your cash. Here's an example. Let's say you have $50,000 to invest. If you were to buy stocks, you'd simply purchase shares worth $50,000. But with real estate, you could use that same $50,000 as a down payment on a $250,000 property. Now, instead of earning returns on $50,000, you're benefiting from the performance of a $250,000 asset. If the property appreciates by 5%, your gain isn't based on $50,000, it's based on $250,000. That's the magic of leverage. Of course, leverage works both ways. If the property loses value, your losses are amplified too. That's why it's crucial to choose properties carefully, ensure positive cash flow, and avoid overextending yourself financially. Done right, though, leverage can accelerate your path to early retirement by helping you acquire more assets faster. Now, let's shift gears and talk about overcoming challenges, because no investment strategy is without obstacles. While real estate offers incredible opportunities, it also comes with risks and responsibilities that you'll need to navigate thoughtfully. One common challenge is dealing with tenants. Managing rental properties can be rewarding, but it also requires patience, communication skills, and sometimes thick skin. Late rent payments, maintenance requests, and occasional conflicts are part of the package. However, there are solutions. For instance, hiring a property management company can take the stress off your shoulders, though it will eat into your profits slightly. Alternatively, choosing long-term tenants who treat the property well can minimize headaches. Another challenge is handling unexpected expenses. Properties require upkeep, and repairs can pop up at inconvenient times. A furnace might break, a roof may need replacing, or a plumbing issue could arise, all of which cost money. The best way to prepare for these surprises is to build a reserve fund specifically for your real estate investments. Aim to save 10-20% of your rental income each month to cover emergencies or vacancies. Having this cushion ensures you're never caught off guard. Market conditions can also pose challenges. While real estate generally appreciates over time, some areas experience stagnation or decline due to factors like job losses, natural disasters, or shifts in population trends. To mitigate this risk, research markets thoroughly before buying and focus on areas with strong fundamentals, good schools, low crime rates, and steady demand for housing. Finally, let's address the learning curve. Real estate investing involves understanding concepts like financing, zoning laws, tenant screening, and property valuation. If you're new to it, the terminology and processes can feel overwhelming. But here's the good news: you don't have to figure everything out overnight. Start small, educate yourself through books, podcasts, or online courses, and surround yourself with knowledgeable people, real estate agents, lenders, accountants, or mentors who can guide you along the way. Now that we've explored diversification, leverage, and overcoming challenges, let's transition to our final point: scaling your real estate portfolio to achieve financial independence. Building wealth through real estate isn't a one-time event. It's a process of consistently acquiring, managing, and optimizing properties to maximize their potential. We'll discuss practical steps for scaling your investments and creating a sustainable stream of passive income that supports your dream of retiring early. Stick around, we're almost there. All right, let's keep going, because this is where things get truly exciting. So far, we've talked about the power of real estate to generate cash flow, build equity, take advantage of tax benefits, diversify your investments, and leverage borrowed capital. Now, let's dive into the final piece of the puzzle: scaling your real estate portfolio to achieve financial independence and retire early. Scaling your real estate investments isn't just about buying more properties. It's about strategically growing your portfolio in a way that maximizes returns while minimizing risks. The goal is to create a self-sustaining system where your properties generate enough passive income to cover your living expenses, and then some. When you reach that point, you're no longer dependent on a paycheck or traditional retirement accounts. Instead, your real estate empire works for you, giving you the freedom to live life on your own terms. So, how do you scale effectively? Let's break it down step by step. The first key to scaling is reinvesting your profits. One of the biggest mistakes new investors make is taking all their rental income and spending it elsewhere. While it might be tempting to treat yourself to a vacation or upgrade your lifestyle, Reinvesting those dollars back into your portfolio accelerates your growth exponentially. For example, if you use your rental income to pay down mortgages faster, refinance existing loans, or purchase additional properties, you'll compound your wealth over time. Think of it like planting seeds. The more you sow, the greater your harvest will be. Another strategy for scaling is using what's called the BRRRR method. This acronym stands for buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. Here's how it works. You purchase a property that needs renovations, often at a discount, fix it up to increase its value, rent it out to generate cash flow, then refinance the mortgage to pull out most of your initial investment. With that money, you can repeat the process with another property. Over time, this cycle allows you to acquire multiple properties without tying up all your capital, a game changer for building a large portfolio quickly. Now, let's talk about optimizing your existing properties. As your portfolio grows, it's important to ensure each property is performing at its best. Regularly review your rents to make sure they're competitive with current market rates. If you haven't raised rents in a few years, you might be leaving money on the table. Just be mindful of local laws and tenant relationships when doing so. You should also look for ways to reduce expenses. For instance, negotiating better deals with contractors, switching to energy-efficient appliances, or bundling services like landscaping and maintenance can lower your operating costs. Every dollar saved goes straight to your bottom line, increasing your overall profitability. Another optimization tactic is house hacking, a term used to describe living in one unit of a multi-family property while renting out the others. This approach not only reduces your personal housing costs, but also provides immediate cash flow from tenants. Many people use this strategy to jumpstart their real estate journey, especially since owner-occupied properties often qualify for lower down payments and better financing terms. Now, let's circle back to the concept of passive income. As you scale your portfolio, your ultimate aim should be to transition from active management to passive ownership. This means relying less on your direct involvement and more on systems, teams, and automation to run your business. For example, hiring a property manager can free up your time while ensuring tenants are happy and properties are well maintained. Similarly, setting up automated payment systems and digital communication tools streamlines operations, making your life easier. Achieving financial independence through real estate requires patience and discipline, but it's entirely within reach if you stay consistent. Imagine waking up one day to realize that your rental properties are generating enough income to cover your monthly expenses, and then some. Suddenly, the idea of retiring early becomes not just a dream, but a reality. Let me share a quick story to illustrate this point. Meet Sarah, a former teacher who started investing in duplexes during her late 40s. She began small, purchasing one property at a time and reinvesting her profits into additional units. By the time she turned 55, she owned 8 properties, which collectively produced $6,000 per month in positive cash flow. With her living expenses covered entirely by her rentals, Sarah was able to leave her teaching job and focus on traveling, volunteering, and spending time with family. Her secret: sticking to a disciplined plan, reinvesting wisely, and surrounding herself with a supportive team. Sarah's story reminds us that real estate investing is a marathon, not a sprint. Success doesn't happen overnight, it's built brick by brick, property by property. But with persistence and smart decision-making, anyone can achieve similar results. Now, let's address a question you might be asking yourself. How many properties do I need to retire early? The answer depends on your lifestyle and expenses. To determine your target, calculate your monthly living costs, including everything from groceries and utilities to healthcare and travel. Then, figure out how much rental income you'd need to cover those costs comfortably. For instance, if your monthly expenses are $4,000 and each property generates $500 in cash flow, you'd need around 8 properties to achieve financial independence. Of course, these numbers vary based on location, financing, and other factors, but the principle remains the same. Clarity is key. Finally, let's talk about mindset. Scaling a real estate portfolio takes courage, resilience, and a willingness to embrace uncertainty. There will be moments when things don't go as planned, a deal falls through, a tenant moves out unexpectedly, or repairs cost more than anticipated. During these times, it's easy to feel discouraged or doubt your decisions. That's why cultivating a growth mindset is essential. Focus on what you can control, learn from setbacks, and remind yourself of the bigger picture. One powerful tool for staying motivated is visualization. Take a few minutes each day to imagine what your life will look like once you've achieved financial independence. Picture yourself waking up without an alarm clock, pursuing hobbies you love, or spending quality time with loved ones. These mental images reinforce your commitment and keep you moving forward, even when the road gets bumpy. Now that we've covered scaling strategies, optimization techniques, and the importance of mindset, let's wrap things up with some final thoughts. In the next section, we'll reflect on the transformative power of real estate, not just as a financial tool, but as a vehicle for creating the life you've always dreamed of. Stick around, we're saving the best for last. All right, we're in the home stretch now. So far, we've covered so much ground: how real estate can generate cash flow, build equity, offer tax advantages, diversify your investments, leverage borrowed capital, and scale your portfolio to achieve financial independence. But as we wrap up this conversation, let's take a step back and reflect on the bigger picture. What does it really mean to retire early through real estate, and how can you embrace this journey with confidence, purpose, and joy? Let's start with a simple truth. Real estate investing isn't just about numbers, it's about creating freedom. Freedom to live life on your own terms, to pursue passions without worrying about money, and to spend more time with the people and activities that bring you happiness. When you think about it, retiring early isn't just a financial goal, it's a lifestyle transformation. It's about reclaiming your time, energy, and autonomy, and using them to design a life that feels truly fulfilling. Real estate gives you the tools to make that vision a reality. Unlike traditional retirement accounts, which often rely on market performance or fixed payouts, real estate provides tangible assets that generate ongoing income. This steady stream of cash flow doesn't just fund your day-to-day expenses, it funds your dreams. Whether it's traveling the world, starting a passion project, or simply enjoying quiet mornings at home, real estate empowers you to turn those aspirations into action. But here's the beautiful part. Success in real estate isn't reserved for a select few. You don't need to be wealthy, young, or an expert to get started. All you need is a willingness to learn, a long-term mindset, and the courage to take that first step. Every seasoned investor started exactly where you are right now, with a dream, a plan, and maybe even a little doubt. What sets successful investors apart is their persistence, their ability to keep going, even when things feel uncertain. Now, let me share one last story to inspire you. Meet James, a retired factory worker who began investing in real estate at age 50 with no prior experience. He started small, purchasing a modest duplex in his hometown and living in one unit while renting out the other. Over the next decade, he reinvested his profits, acquired additional properties, and eventually built a portfolio of 6 rental homes. By the time he turned 62, James had enough passive income to retire comfortably, allowing him to spend his days fishing, woodworking, and volunteering at his local community center. When asked about his secret to success, he said, "I didn't know everything when I started, but I was willing to learn. And most importantly, I didn't give up." James' story reminds us that real estate investing is accessible to anyone willing to put in the effort. It's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent. It's not about avoiding mistakes, it's about learning from them. And it's not about waiting for the perfect moment, it's about taking action today, knowing that progress compounds over time. Of course, embracing this journey requires a shift in perspective. For years, many of us have been conditioned to view work as the primary source of identity and security. But real estate flips that script. It shifts the focus from trading time for money to letting your assets work for you. This transition can feel liberating, but it also comes with its own set of emotions. Letting go of the familiar and stepping into the unknown takes courage. Be gentle with yourself during this process, and remember that growth happens outside your comfort zone. One of the most profound lessons of real estate investing is the importance of patience. Building wealth through property doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process that rewards those who stay committed. Think of it like planting trees. You may not see the shade immediately, but with care and consistency, those trees will grow tall and strong, providing shelter and beauty for decades to come. The same principle applies to your investments. Trust the process, celebrate small wins along the way, and know that every dollar you reinvest brings you closer to your goals. Another lesson worth noting is the value of relationships. Real estate is inherently human-centered. It involves tenants, contractors, lenders, agents, and mentors. Surrounding yourself with trustworthy, knowledgeable people makes all the difference in navigating challenges and seizing opportunities. Don't hesitate to ask for help when you need it, whether it's negotiating a deal, managing repairs, or understanding tax laws. Collaboration isn't a sign of weakness, it's a hallmark of smart investing. Finally, let's talk about legacy. One of the most rewarding aspects of real estate investing is the opportunity to leave something behind for future generations. Properties can be passed down to children or grandchildren, providing them with financial stability and a head start in life. Even if you don't have heirs, your investments can still create a lasting impact through scholarships, charitable donations, or community development projects. Real estate allows you to build not just wealth, but meaning. Now, as we conclude this video, I want to leave you with this thought. Your journey toward early retirement through real estate is uniquely yours. There's no right timeline, no perfect portfolio, and no single path to success. What matters most is that you're taking steps, big or small, toward a future that excites you. So, as you embark on this adventure, give yourself grace. Celebrate the milestones, learn from the setbacks, and trust that you're capable of achieving incredible things. Real estate has the power to transform your life not just financially, but emotionally and spiritually as well. It's not just about retiring early, it's about living fully. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this video has inspired you to rethink what's possible through real estate and take actionable steps toward your dream of early retirement. If you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might benefit. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips on building wealth, achieving financial independence, and living your best life at any age. Until next time, take care of yourself and remember, the foundation for your future starts today.